if she stands up like Emma did the other night though at the finish to punch it. Hang on, I gotta switch over to okay. Okay, alright. I'm just double checking. Alright. Alright. She said it's not gonna affect it. Becca did.
Becca.
Why do I keep losing that?
Losing a camera or something?
Well, I keep getting a circle, even though it's perfectly fine.
On the camera?
Yeah.
You want me to go?
No, it's fine. The circle's gone. I unplugged it. It leaves.
If an antenna is screwed in all the way, or the
No.
power cord, something like that, maybe?
No, I don't know. It's okay. We're fine.
There's a guy. I'm not sure if you can see him. Look over there by that tree. There's a guy cleaning the top of his camper, walking around on it with a hose and a brush.
Where's my? Okay. Okay. There's two. Get my number 2 back.
Sound guy's not even here yet.
No, I don't have sound yet. Camera thing again. What the heck is going on? Yeah, you can't. There's a lock on there. We can't even get started with anything till.
That's what I don't. Whatever.
I'm gonna hold off a couple minutes.
Yeah. There's no point in
starting with my side.
We're just gonna wait around and have to test anyway, so. This was scheduled for 12:30, right? They didn't move it up?
Nope. Because I made the mistake. I thought it was 1:30, and she made sure I saw the front of the program.
I thought it was. Yeah, I was wrong too.
I thought it was 1:30.
I was all mixed up with all the days running together. Got
my
'em-
stuff sitting on my doorstep to build my second little box.
too. So to get Lisa sound over there without, putting a 2-channel board over there for,
Two-channel board ain't gonna do it. We gotta get from.
and then just send it.
It's gotta be. It's gotta. Whatever we do, it's gotta send it
Right.
over here, and it's gotta be able to send it distance. And I really didn't find anything HDMI
I couldn't either.
to XLR or anything like that.
I looked and I figured the technology has to be out there.
I mean, because I think the guy, like I said, from Quincy was using it, but I didn't find anything last night that was from Hollyland for the audio.
I wonder if they have like a conversion rack mount that you have to get and then send it somewhere else. I don't know. There's an answer that we don't know that. I got some boil when you need it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Since you don't have officials up here yet getting squared away.
There's no point. Yeah. I need to get driver changes. I need to.
Driver changes and
Scratches.
need to just get situated with everything.
Yeah. I can't run the national anthem and call for a post when everyone's not even packed.
And we need to do that starting about what, a quarter or 20 after.
About 7 minutes.
So the post, in my opinion, when you say post time of 12:30, that means
That
first
should be
race.
the car should be hitting right here at 12:30.
Yep.
And that's the goal, but when I'm in charge of being on top of the time, it's not going to be.
Well, I can always be that
Anyway.
constant reminder because I'm the time guy.
I know.
Because you got viewers.
I know.
Yes, dear.
Have a live mic if I can hear you on.
Okay, thank you.
Hi. Hi.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Coles County Fair. Harness racing for the third day here. On Friday, we have 11 races on tap for you today from Coles County. David Brink will be your track announcer. Steve Surratt, I'll do the editing and commentary on this end of things. And producing Lisa Surratt across the track from us, doing your videoing for the day. We're glad that you could join us and be a part of the broadcast. And with that, we're a late start this morning. 12:30 kickoff, and we're a late start as we just got into the sound system. So we'll give our sponsors a break right now. We'll be back after these messages.
It's just amazing the people you get to interact with when you get here. It's a family atmosphere for me. One of my main jobs is talking to people, trying to understand what's going on, where they're at in life, what they're needing from me to get their job done. I've met so many people, and it's been a real blessing to be a part of all that. Big company in a small town, that's a fact. When my life needed growth, I chose DOT, and I never left.
Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport is the go-to mobile home transportation company. We provide top-notch services including moving, block and leveling, and even demolitions with a quick turnaround time. If you're looking to move or get rid of your mobile home, Pine Ridge is the company to call. We now have dumpsters available for rent at competitive rates. Contact Wayne at 217-313-9744 or find us on Facebook.
ADI, located in Golden, is one of North America's largest pattern tiling installers. We've helped farmers create water management systems for over 40 years with pattern tiling across farm fields, generating proven data showing a boost in yield and greater profitability. Changing weather patterns do not have to cost you yield dollars anymore. Start with a free estimate now by calling your local ADI representative, David Lohman, at 309-280-2411 or by visiting our website at agdrainage.com.
Back with you on Harness Tube. We want to thank our sponsors out there, the Midwestern Illinois Racing Association. We appreciate them. The Coles County Fair, which we're at right now, helps us out with things going forward. With us in 2025, we encourage you to get a hold of David Brink as we've got today left, and that's really all we kind of have left on the schedule for this year as we get ready for things. And I've got only half of my headset, I think. No, it's both there. But contact David on YouTube at Harness Tube. Don't need the IL on there, just Harness Tube. Or send him an email, harnestube@gmail.com, 322. That's 21312-772. 122 for David Brink and advertising with Harness Tube. We really like our thing that we have called From the Backstretch. From the Backstretch is a great thing. We've received some pictures during the year. Horses in the barn, break room at a racetrack, nursing homes watching us. We encourage you to have watch parties. You can even do it after the fact at your house. Have a watch party and watch one of our races and send the pictures to us. We'd love to hear from you, your favorite fair memory, different things that are going on. You could send us something in the chat on, maybe who you're picking in the next race or who your favorite drivers is. Glad that you're with us today. Do it without people helping us do this throughout the year. That's what keeps it free here on the channel, is by doing that. And so we want to thank those that do banner ads and those that do 30-second ads and those that just donate to the cause. Appreciate
Good
that.
afternoon and welcome to the 170th consecutive Coles County Fair here in Charleston, Illinois for today's harness races. Before we get to today's program, we want to ask you of our national anthem.
Back with you on the harness tube. One in Mount Sterling the next 2
Horseman,
days.
let's go ahead and bring out that first race, the first division of 2-year-old filly pace in the Illini Stakes.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
Make plans now to attend the 25th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic has been producing champions for a quarter century, including reigning Illinois Divisional Champions On Higher Ground and Scorecard Dandy. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 2nd at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. Come join us and finish the summer strong.
Wait, before you go and get your snacks and drinks, make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Alright, to the show.
Want to thank our donors for making it possible. You can donate like the people on your screen have by going to Venmo or PayPal at Harness Tube. That's either Venmo or PayPal at Harness Tube, or sending an old-fashioned check. P.O. Box 63, Mount Sterling, Illinois 62353. We'd greatly appreciate that.
I have been interested in truck driving my whole life. I've been fascinated with the big rig since I was a kid. But after college, I got into business on the marketing side of things, kind of shelved the dream. 30 years later, I quit my job, signed up for truck driving school. It was exciting from the get-go. Dot recruited out of my truck driving school. The job was everything I was hoping it would be, and then some. My weeks absolutely fly by. When my fulfillment, I took the wheel.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication. Get started at TheStable.ca.
In Coles County, driver change on the 7-horse, Send It Emmett. Make that driver on the 7, Send It Emmett Wyatt Avenetti. Looking ahead to today's 5th race, we have a driver change on the 3-horse, Judge Me Not. Driver of the 3-horse in today's 5th race is Richard S. Finn. Richard S. Finn on the 3, Judge Me Not. Race. Have a driver change on the 3-horse, Hey Freaky. Make the driver on the 3, Hey Freaky, Richard S. Finn as well. 7th race is clear. First race.
Yes, we are.
All right, with that, we'll give you Lisa and I's picks here in this first race. David's announcing, so we won't give his picks in this race. Truly a winner, Wyatt Avenetti. Lisa and I both picked that horse to win this race. And then it is, and the truly a winner has been a winner. It's nothing but like 4 first and 2 second. Here, the 5 is changed. So I'm going to make a change here, folks. Take a moment and do that. Harold Finn Jr., or Harold Finn on that horse. So we'll take a stab at that, get that taken care of for us on here so we can be correct as far as these are concerned. Then Lisa and I flip-flopped the 5 and the 3. Fox Valley Lava was my pick for second. My pick, Arcase Mac, for third. Hang on just a second. Finn's driving which horse in this race? 5. Well, who's driving the 1?
Richard.
And who's doing Harold? Okay. Harold Finn driving the 5. That's the horse that Lisa and I picked to win this race. So we'll see what happens with that. But Harold Finn on the 5 now.
Post parade him, Richard.
As they get ready here. And I'll put David back up.
Looking for a post parade, horseman. Post parade today. Who is?
Roy.
Okay.
Nope.
All right, as they get ready for a post parade, they haven't.
Here come our starters for today's first race. Let's meet the field. Today's first race is an Illini Colt stake for 2-year-old filly pacers, a 1-mile pace for a purse of $5,410. The number 1 horse is Diane LL Dream, owned by Andrew and Diane Chudzik of Plainfield, Illinois, trained by Phil Cotton, driven by Richard S. Finn. The 2 is Shark 2, owned by Jerry Mims of Vardaman, Mississippi, trained and driven also by Jerry Mims. The 3-horse RK's Mac is owned by MM&D Racing LLC of Wright here in Charleston, Illinois. Roshan Derez Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi, trained by Roshan Trigg, driven by Freddie Patton Jr. The 4-horse Truly a Winner is owned by Kevin Miller of Arthur, Bart Seals of Mason, Wayne Moldenhauer of Lake Mills, Wisconsin, trained by Kevin Miller, driven today by Wyatt Avenetti. The 5-horse Fox Valley Lava is owned by K.E. and A.S. Miller of Arthur, Brian Lohman of Broadlands, and Lester Detweiler of Sullivan, trained by Kevin Miller. Make that driver Harold Finn. And the 6-horse Till You Can't is owned, trained, and driven by 18-year-old Marcus Detweiler. Field due to the gate in just a moment.
All right, with that, we get ready to go here. Again, driver changes Harold Finn on the number 5 horse. That's the horse that Lisa and I picked to win. And again, one of those things you don't know till race time, as one of the reasons why we picked that horse is not only, or I should say, we picked the 4-horse. Excuse me. Spoke out of turn here.
Taking a look at the program here, the 3-horse is the locally owned RK's Mac. That filly's been competing in Du Quoin lately against arguably the best 2-year-old Illinois bred fillies in the state in the Night of Champions series. She's finished with 2 solid third-place finishes with nice last quarters in those miles against the best 2-year-olds in the fillies in the state. So, be a lot of people in Charleston rooting for the local favorites on that one. Field begins to bunch and head their way towards the gate. Today's first race is a 2-year-old filly pacing the Illini Colt Stakes. From the inside out, it's Diane LL Dream and Richard S. Finn, Shark 2 and Jerry Mims, RK's Mac and Freddie Patton Jr., Truly a Winner and Wyatt Avenetti, Fox Valley Lava and Harold Finn, Until You Can't and Marcus Detweiler. Nice tight start for these fillies. Gate begins to pick up speed. And here they come. And they're off and pacing quickly from the outside. Looks to be Truly a Winner and Wyatt Avenue. They're 3 wide into that first turn, battling for position. They barrel in there. From the inside, we have Shark 2 between horses. RK's Mac on the outside. Truly a Winner going to take advantage and headed up the backstretch for the first time. Truly a Winner's going to neck in front on top of Shark 2 as they head up the backstretch for the first time. Racing back there third is Diane LL Dream. Back there fourth, getting away quickly, was Marcus Detweiler, Until You Can't. The race field races towards that quarter-mile marker, being led by Truly a Winner and Wyatt Avenatti. They hit that post and hit that time in 28 and 2/5 of a second, a snappy opening pace for these two-year-old filly pacers out here. Being led right now in the second turn by Truly a Winner and Wyatt Avenatti. Back there second, still Jerry Mims and Shark 2. Looking to come now first over third is to be Diane LL Dream from the tipping to the outside to make a challenge, and on her back is RK's Mac taking the cover trip. Racing back there fifth now looks to be Fox Valley Lava, and at the back of the pack is Till You Can't. Field races past that half-mile marker. They hit that station in 59 and 2/5 of a second. A nice, real quick pace for these two-year-old filly pacers. On top, still Truly a Winner on top by about 4 or 5 lengths. Now leading this field, sitting back there second, still Diane LL Dream. On the outside now, here's the local favorite, RK's Mac, putting in her charge to try to catch that leader. Racing back up there, taking over third now looks to be Fox Valley Lava and Harold Finn. The field moves towards that 3/4 mile marker. They're going to have to catch Truly a Winner and Wyatt Avenatti. They hit that 3/4 pole. 1:28 and 3/5 of a second, and Wyatt opens up. He's on top by about 7 or 8 lengths now, and is out there by himself. Racing there second still is RK Mac. Looking to come on third. Here comes Fox Valley Lava and Harold Finn. It's going to be a horse race for second, but on top is going to be Truly a Winner, taking care of this field and opening up, winning here by about 10 to 8 lengths maybe. So race for second, though, we have RK's Mac on the inside. On the outside looks to be Fox Valley Lava, but RK's Mac finishes second. Fox Valley Lava was third. Home fourth was Diane LL Dream. Fifth, Till You Can't. And Shark 2 finished sixth. Time for the mile. 1:58 and 4/5 of a second. 1:58 and 4. Our winner due back in the winner's circle shortly. Truly a Winner.
Thank you very much.
58 4. Half 59 and 2. 128 and 2, 158
All right, back with that as we get ready here. The first race happening with 4-3-5. Lisa Surratt getting the trifecta on that pick, as she's probably doing a big woohoo up there in the thing as I picked the winner, but I did not pick the finish order. Lisa Surratt, the camera person, she picks over me, and I haven't won for a few days now between her and David
And here
as
comes
far as
today's
that, and
winner
we've lost
of the
our
first
camera
race, the Illini
source.
Classic 2-year-old filly pace, winner of a purse of $5,410.
There we go.
Truly a Winner in Wyatt Avenatti.
Keep losing our camera for some reason.
Truly a Winner is a 2-year-old Illinois-bred filly by Some Star Somewhere of the Western Ideal Dam Legacy of Diamonds.
There we go.
She's owned by Kevin Miller of Arthur and Bart Seals of Mason and Wayne Moldenhauer of Lake Mills, Wisconsin, trained by Kevin Miller, driven right there by the man at the head of the horse, the leading county fair driver, Wyatt Avenatti. Let's have a big round of applause for our winner. Today's first race, the Prairie State Bank and Trust sponsored Truly a Winner.
We'll wait for David to give the official rundown and the official on the times.
Results are in for today's first race. The 1-horse Diane LL Dream finished 4th. The 2-horse Shark 2 finished 6th. RK's Mac was 2nd. Truly a Winner was your winner. Fox Valley Lava was 3rd. And Till You Can't finished 5th. The quarter was in 28 and 2/5 of a second. The half was in 59 and 2/5 of a second. 3/4 in 1:28 and 2. Time for the mile, 1:58 and 4/5 of a second. A snappy mile for a 2-year-old filly pacer on a half-mile track.
We'll be back.
When I started at DOT, I realized I could make a career out of this. It's just amazing the people you get to interact with when you get here. It's a family atmosphere for me. One of my main jobs is talking to people, trying to understand what's going on, where they're at in life, what they're needing from me to get their job done. I've met so many people, and it's been a real blessing to be a part of all that. Big company in a small town, that's a fact. When my life needed growth, I chose Dot, and I never left.
Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport is the go-to mobile home transportation company. We provide top-notch services including moving, block and leveling, and even demolitions with a quick turnaround time. If you're looking to move or get rid of your mobile home, Pine Ridge is the company to call. We now have dumpsters available for rent at competitive rates. Contact Wayne at 217-313-9744 or find us on Facebook.
ADI, located in Golden, is one of North America's largest pattern tiling installers. We've helped farmers create water management systems for over 40 years with pattern tiling across farm fields, generating proven data showing a boost in yield and greater profitability. Changing weather patterns do not have to cost you yield dollars anymore. Start with a free estimate now by calling your local ADI representative, David Lohman, at 309-280-2411 or by visiting our website at agdrainage.com.
Back with you here on Harness Tube as we continually get changes here. That's where it gets a little bit difficult working by ourselves. In the 9th race, Wyatt Avenetti will be on the horse Rushville, which for us is an interesting horse because we are Rushville, actually the town in Illinois, is about 20 minutes from Brown County where we live. In fact, they've got a great Mexican restaurant over there. But on the horse Rushville, the Clay Simpson horse, will be Wyatt Avenetti. And I just go, why wouldn't you? He is one of the hottest drivers, particularly on the county fair circuit here in Illinois. In Urbana, won 9 out of the 10 races he was in, and he was not scheduled to be in that 10th race, as we had an accident in the race before and one of the drivers couldn't go. And who do you go to? You go to Wyatt Avenetti. At that point, he had won 9 of 9 of the races that he was on driving a horse. And so why wouldn't you pick him in to be that? Let's take a look at race 2 here as we get ready to go. In race 2, there is a scratch, and that scratch is the one horse. Behold Victor is a scratch. Let's see. Let's get with if there's any other changes in this race that we have. Jerome Daniels was a late switch down on the 6 horse Mr. Kidd. Looking at this race, I picked the 4 horse Wyatt Avenetti, the driver, on Fort Perry. That horse has had a great year, finished second its last time out. With one of the Jimmy D. Shark, I believe, was a horse that beat that. So I picked that to win. So did Lisa. The 2 spot, I picked Baba's Old Fashioned. That's another horse I've really liked through the fair circuit. Lisa picked the 1 horse, which is a scratch. So we'll move up to 5 in her spot. And then I tell you what, I'll just put the 3 horse in for her 3rd pick to give her 3 picks in this race. I picked a 4-3-5. Lisa picked a 4-5-3. So I'm not going to count that because I know she's listening on the other side over there a little bit later. If she gets a trifecta, it doesn't count because I picked that horse for her. Just kidding. But as we get ready to go here today, a great day for racing. We've got a nice breeze out here. We'll get ready for the track announcer, David Brink, to come back on here in just a few moments. But just a great day for racing. 11 races on the card for you in this contest today. And so very, very thankful for the nice breeze that we have going on today. But 2 is a scratch in this race. And so
After
with
just
that,
conferring with Leanne Shin up here in the judges' stand, we're reviewing the trainer standings for the Coles County Fair Training Championship. We've had 2 2 days of racing so far. And currently the way it stands, the point system is 5 points for a win, 3 points for a second, and a single point for third. Through 2 days of racing, we look like we have a leader is our local Charleston's own Jill Brown, leading with about 44 points right now, leading by about 12 votes. So she's got a nice lead to the local connections here at the Coles County Fairgrounds to get that trainer's title for the week.
Wyatt is on the 4. We don't know who's on the 3. Wyatt's on the 4? Yep. Did you double call here?
Yeah, they're talking about there's a 2-horse. Who's the 3? That looks like Marcus. No, that's a 2. Waiting to see who comes out on the 3 to make that change. As as we take a look at who's on the horses out here, that's one of the biggest things is driver changes. You've got 2 fairs going on, 1:30 post time over at Altamont today, and 12:30 here, and so Richard Finn on the 3. All right, he's getting a lot of driving in today. So Richard Finn. Richard. All right, we're still trying to make sure who's driving what here as we get ready to go with this race.
I believe we're still waiting on the 7-horse, RK's captain from the barn area. Go ahead and parade him, guys. We're going to go ahead and parade him per Randy Callahan, our official today. So bring on that second post. Let's meet our field for today's second race. Today's second race is a 1-mile pace for a purse of $5,494. This is the 2-year-old colt and gelding division of the Illini Colt Stakes pace. The 1, Bold Victor, is a scratch, sick. So let's meet number 2. Number 2 is Galvanized, owned, trained, and driven by 18-year-old Marcus Detweiler. The 3-horse is Bappa's Old Fashioned, owned by Little Bappa LLC of Auburn, California, trained by Kevin Miller, driven today by Richard S. Finn. The 4-horse Fort Perry is owned by Constance Oakey of Georgetown, Kentucky, trained by Kevin Miller, driven today by Wyatt Avenatti. The 5-horse is Mighty Riker, owned by Patrick Massey of Crystal Springs, Mississippi, Renata Bowie of Crystal Springs, Mississippi, trained by Fabian Johnson, driven by Tyler Stevens Clemens. The 6-horse Mr. Kidd is owned by Brian Chupp of Arthur, trained by Mike Titus, and make the driver Jerome Daniels on the 6. The 7-horse is RK's Captain, owned by MM&D Racing LLC of right here in Charleston, trained by Roshan Trigg. Driver is Freddie Patton Jr. Field due to the gate shortly.
All right, you've got those changes. We got a scratch on the 1, Richard Finn on the 3, Jerome Daniels on the 6. And so we don't know. They were questioning the 7, but right now we're sticking with Freddie Patton Jr. on RK's Captain. And so as we get ready for race 2, $5,494 race for 2-year-old colts and geldings. And so I don't know that we have seen the 7-horse yet. And let's...
Yeah, we're up here waiting on Mitch or Mike. We're trying to get a hold of them, see if they're out or in. Freddie's just going to the barn. Oh, yeah, if he's just going to the barn, he's not going to fight.
So they're waiting to see the 7-horse. They notice that Freddie Patton just going to the barn, so Freddie Patton Jr.
Horsemen are looking for the 7-horse RK's Captain out here on the track. RK's Captain still awaiting the 7-horse. Today's second race. Field.
These are the things that slow down races. Yesterday we did 6 races in about an hour and 12 minutes. If you think about that, that's 72 minutes. That is about 12 minutes per race, and that's pretty stinking fast that you can get those in. In the sporting world, you like to get things in. You love to have it in that 3-hour mark in a day's time for fans to stay engaged with that, and or no more than 3.5. At 11 horses at 15 minutes apiece, as we try to use that as a guideline. Well, let's see. 7 is scratched.
Late scratch in today's second race. We're going to scratch that 7-horse RK's Captain. Scratch the 7 RK's Captain.
Okay, the 7 is scratched, so we kind of been waiting. But let's see what's... We should be getting ready to go here. And going to...
With a scratch of the 1 and a scratch of the 7, that'll bring this field down to a 5-horse field. Field begins to head towards that mobile starting gate.
Starter
Roy Finn faces the field in the back of the gate, driven by local Stacy DeRoos. As a team, they're going to take this field about a quarter mile around the track and start them at almost full speed. Today's second race, the Illini Colt Stakes for 2-year-old colt and geldings, the Dale Richardson Memorial is at the gate. The gate's rolling. Scratch of the 1, Bold Victor from the inside. The 2 horses, Galvanized and Marcus Detweiler. The 3, Bappa's Old Fashioned and Richard Finn. The 4, Fort Perry and Wyatt Avenetti. The 5, Mighty Riker and Tyler Stevens Clemens. And the 6 is Mr. Kidd and Jerome Daniels. Field straightens for home. Gate begins to pick up speed. And here they come. And they're off and racing quickly between horses. It's Fort Perry and Wyatt Avenetti as they head towards that first turn. Their second on the outside is Mighty Riker. Racing along their third, roughly rough-gated, was the 3-horse Bappa's Old Fashioned. Racing back their fourth is Galvanized. And at the back of the pack is Mr. Kidd. The field comes out of that first turn and races towards that quarter-mile marker, being led by Wyatt Avenetti and Fort Perry. Racing back their second now is still the 5, Mighty Riker. Back their third by about 3 or 4 lengths is Bappa's Old Fashioned. The field races past that quarter-mile marker, and they hit that time 28 4/5 of a second. Lightning fast opening quarter for 2-year-old Colt Pacers. The field's in that second turn now, being led by Fort Perry and Wyatt Avenetti. On the looking to maybe make a move comes Mighty Riker, and Tyler Stevens Clemens pops to the outside to try to bluff the leader a little bit. Back there third by about 4 lengths looks to be Bappa's Old Fashioned. Racing along there fourth is Galvanized and Marcus Detweiler, and at the back of the pack is Mr. Kidd. The field races past that half-mile marker, and they hit that time, still being led by Fort Perry and Wyatt Avenetti. We hit that half-mile marker. We got the time in. 59 1/5 of a second to the half. 59 1. Field comes out of that third turn. Now it's a 2-horse race on top, being led by Fort Perry. And on his back was Mighty Riker now. It's about 7-8 lengths back there to third is Bappa's Old Fashioned. Racing fourth is Galvanized. Wyatt Avenetti goes to work with that right hand as they head towards that 3/4 mile marker. Fort Perry wakens up a little bit, opens up by about 2 lengths as they head towards that last turn. Fort Perry on top by about 2 lengths and hit that 3/4 mile marker. 1:29 2/5 of a second. Mighty Riker closes that gap, tips to the outside to make this a horse race first. On the inside is Fort Perry. On the outside, here comes Mighty Riker and Tyler Stevens Clemens. On the inside, Fort Perry's hanging tough, but here comes... Oh, it's going to be a horse race. Mighty Riker on the outside is going to be tough. Fort Perry on the inside. Mighty Riker is going to be a 2-horse race. Fort Perry holds on to win today's second race. The 4-horse. Second was Mighty Riker. Finishing third was Bappa's Old Fashioned. Time for the mile, 1:59 flat. 1:59 flat. Fort Perry. Correction on that mile. Make the time for the mile 2 minutes flat. 2 minutes flat.
All right, as we get ready to go here for 4-5-3. Thank you, Lisa. You can thank me for your second trifecta of the day because I picked your number 3 horse.
On his way back
over
to the
there.
winner's circle is
And
Fort
so
Perry and Wyatt Avenetti.
I
This
got
horse
the winner.
has made 6 starts this year, 5 of them a winning one, with 1 second place finish. Could not be denied today. Mighty Riker with a valiant effort coming on late in the mile, making it a tough horse race, but Fort Perry holds off the competition to win the Dale Richardson Memorial Trophy. And here's our winner. The winner of today's second race is Fort Perry, the 4-horse, owned by Constance Oakey of Georgetown, Kentucky. This 2-year-old gelding by Fort Knox is out of the Western Ideal mare, Wisecrack. Bred by Lindquist LLC of Kentucky, trained by Kevin Miller. Let's give a big round of applause for today's second race winner, Fort Perry and Wyatt Avenetti.
All right, back with that again. Again, Lisa gets the trifecta thanks to me filling in her third horse with who I thought might be in that top 3. So it was 4-5-3. She's
Results
got
are in
2
for today's
trifectas.
second race. Today's second race, results from the top down. The 1, Bold Victor, was a scratch sick. The 2-horse Galvanized was second, or fourth, excuse me. The 2-horse Galvanized was 4th. The 3-horse Boppa's Old Fashioned was 3rd. The 4-horse Fort Perry was your winner. The 5-horse Mighty Riker was 2nd. And the 6, Mr. Kidd, finished 5th. The quarter was in 28 4. The half in 59 1/5 of a second. 3/4 in 1:29 2. Time for the mile, 2 minutes flat, 2 flat. Second race checks down from the top. Scratch 4, 3, 1, 2, 5. Scratch on the bottom. Upcoming third race is division of 2-year-old filly trot in the Illini Colt Stakes. 3 head and 1 scratch. Scratch the 1 exhibition. We're looking for 3 head on the backstretch in just a few moments.
Okay, again, I'd love to hear from you on the chat. We've got a couple of things out there. Mina Miller saying, go Marcus. Somebody was talking about no sound, but the same person came back, let's go Unk. That's People's Patton. I hope the sound is better now. You can let me know if that is the case. It should be better all the way around. So we're thankful that you're here with us this afternoon as we bring harness racing to you here from the Coles County Fair. Getting ready for race number 3 as we get ready through the day. Again, if you'd like to send us some pictures or whatever, we'd love to have them. Some pictures that got sent out to us early in the season. We love going through these and having those. And I know David said he's got a couple that we still need to get in the frame as far as that's concerned. And as we get ready for this next race, race 3, as we try to move this along today, At 103, we've got 2 races in, so we're doing pretty good on that. But this third race, it looks like we have a scratch up at the top for exhibition. The Clay Simpson horse is scratched in this race. That'll bring up Jerome Daniels on Miss Class Time. Tustiaton by the Jerome Daniels horse, the 3 horse, and Freddie Patton Jr. on Goldie's Louise. That's a Rashawn Trigg horse. Let's see how things picked out here. Both of us went 3-4-2. Tustiaton as the winner of this. And then the 4 horse Goldie's Louise finishing second. And Miss Class Time finishing third is what Lisa and I both picked with this race. And so let's take a look at that. The Tustiaton, the Jerome Daniels horse, has been a consistent horse all year long. I just looked at that horse. It doesn't have any first, but it's got 2 seconds, 3 thirds, and 1 fourth. And a pretty consistent run in things for the year. And so I'm saying it's time. Goldie's Louise finished second its last time out and has a first in it. And then Class Time has a second in its background at Rushville. And so looks like the Henry County Fair was the win for Goldie's Louise as we get ready for this third race here of 11 for the day. Steve Surratt on the mic today doing the producing. David Brink, your track announcer for the day. Lisa Surratt taking care of the camera action over in the
I'm
grandstands.
going to try to not step on Brad's heels here, but a couple thank yous from my direction. Want to make sure we give a big shout out to the whole track crew and race secretary Clark Fairley done such a great job keeping this track in tip-top shape. So with all the rain we've had and making sure these races have gotten off on time and on schedule. So big shout out to Clark Fairley and his crew, Phil Stout, Dalton Stout, Kurt Niemeyer, Mark Austin, and everybody else on the track crew. Thank you much.
Thanks for the shout back that the sound is better. I'm trying to work with that as, we tried to make some adjustments. We didn't get what the sound guy didn't get here till a little bit later, so we're going on the run with that and hopefully get things throttled back down where they need to be and not over-modulating, which causes a lot of that breakup. But we're glad that you're on board with us today. I'd love to know who your favorite, who would you say, if you've been watching County Fair racing this year, this is just County Fair racing, who is the driver of the year in your opinion? In my opinion, it's pretty clear cut, but maybe in yours you're seeing some other things. And I'm not saying favorite now. Who's the driver that has, been across the finish line the most? I know Wyan Avenetti over in this direction is in this direction, but we've seen him at a lot of county fairs, and he seems to be driver of the year. The person he needs to look over his shoulder to, in my opinion, there's about 3 or 4. Marcus Detweiler would be one of those. Jaquavian Carter would be another one that's going to up and coming, but the guy that is real close to home, he needs to watch out for Brother Matt, because I see Matt improving and getting better. They have a couple of different driving styles, as David and I have talked about this. And so, but I think Matt's a really good driver, and I think we're going to see a lot more wins coming in here.
Race, the John Titus Memorial, we have a couple of program changes to pass along. The first, we're scratching the 1-horse Exhibition. That horse was scratched sick, and we just got a phone call of a driver's update. Make the driver on the 3-horse Tustiaton John Smith. John Smith from Brandon, Mississippi will be driving the 3-horse Tustiaton.
Yeah, that's a driver actually that's never driven that horse this year. So that's going to be interesting. And like I say, you get, after Lisa and I have made our picks, some of these changes come in here. And so you're
and
going.
Fields out for today's third race.
As we try to go back up here to make that change in 3. As we are here to make sure you know what's going on with the horse. Jerome Daniels not. All right. They're trying to make their way around the back to do that as Lisa gets there and say hi.
Well, if you're going to be late, we're going to have to do something different here.
And so drivers holding things up here. They need to be ready to go. This keeps things moving. Enjoy having you here in the stands. The other day we were sitting here in the booth at the end of the day and you could just smell.
Feel the cymbals on the backstretch.
The elephant ears.
And here comes our post parade for today's third race.
Okay, Roy, if we're going to dilly-dally like this, we're canceling post parades, the rest of the car, we're going right to the gate. Announcer, please state that. After this race, we're going right to the gate.
Horsemen, just a heads up, after this race, there's no more post parades. We're going right to the gate. So horsemen, right to the gate after today's third race. Here's our field for today's third race, the 2-year-old filly trot in the Illini Colt Stakes, the John Titus Memorial. The 1-horse exhibition's a scratch. The 2 missed class time. It's owned, trained, and driven by Springfield's own Jerome Daniels. The 3-horse Tusteaton is owned and trained by Jerome Daniels, driven today by John Smith. And the 3-horse Goldie's Louise is owned by Flacco Family Farms, LLC of Alexis. Roshan Derez Trigg of Freddie Patton Jr. is your driver. Field of 3, Philly Pacers, due to the gate in just a moment.
Tommy Sue. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. I think Tommy Sue Pacers.
Just a reminder, horsemen, in case you missed my last announcement, we are skipping post parades, the rest of the card, and going right to the gate. So just a heads up in the barn area. Post parades after this race are done.
Folks are doing that because the drivers have been kind of slow at getting out for the races, and so they're going to move them up. If we're going straight to the gate, they're going to have to be out and ready to go. If they're not ready to go,
I think what you said the other night, planted your ass in a...
so with that, horses on the back stretch. They're going to turn around here in a second and be ready to go to the gate. But as we get ready to go, we'll switch over to Lisa, let her take control of things here on the video.
Field of cymbals at the gate in the backstretch. The gate begins to roll. From the inside out, we're scratching the 1. The 2 missed class time in Jerome Daniels. The 3, Tusteaton and John Smith. The 4, Goldie's Louise and Freddie Patton Jr. Field reached the gate. Gate begins to pick up speed. And here they come. They're off and trotting between horses. It's Tusteaton and John Smith grabbing the lead quickly. Racing along their seconds, missed class time in Jerome Daniels. Backing back to the back of the bus is Goldie's Louise and Freddie Patton Jr. The field hits that first turn and races out of the first turn up the backstretch for the first time, being led by the 3-horse Tusteaton and John Smith. They head up the backstretch, and here comes Goldie's Louise and Freddie Patton Jr. to challenge for that contention. They're racing towards that quarter mile marker. On the outside, you have Goldie's Louise making a challenge, but still being led by Tusteaton, racing along their third on the inside, missed class time in Jerome Daniels. 31 3/5 of a second to that quarter. 31 3. This 3-horse field race is in that second turn now, still being led. They've got about a length or two between each of them. We have Tustiaton, the Sutton filly, on top by a couple lengths. Racing back there second, still Miss Class Time, the 2-year-old filly by class included. At the back of the pack, Goldie's Louise, the Lou's Legacy. The field races past that half-mile marker, still being led by the 3-horse Tustiaton. They get to the half in 1:03 and 3/5 of a second. 1:03 and 3. Miss Class included closes that gap now second. To challenge a little quicker now third. On the back of the pack is Goldie's Louise. They straighten up the backstretch for the last time now on this mile, still being led by Tustiaton. Not a whole lot of change in this mile. We've been same order for most of the mile. We race towards that 3/4 mile marker. John Smith taps up, hits past that 3/4 mile marker, hits that fraction in 1:36 flat, 1:36 flat. And here to the outside, here comes Miss Class Included, the stablemate of the leader now. Miss Class Included on the outside, but here comes Goldie's Louise for a 3-wide move on to try to challenge the new leader now, Miss Class Time. Miss Class Time on top, but here comes Goldie's Louise on the outside with a rush of speed and a huge gate. Goldie's Louise with a big trot, but on the inside, Miss Class Included fights back gamely, and Miss Class Included is going to win this one by about oh, it's close, photo finish. What a strong late charge there by Goldie's Louise and Freddie Patton Jr. Photo finish on that one, folks. Photo finish. 2:08 and 4/5 of a second. 2:08 and 4. Result to the photo shortly.
All right, folks, a photo finish there as I gave you the replay on that. 2:03 and 3 is going to be the mile time there. 2:03, 03 and 3. So nice time there. Not under the 2, but a nice time. Photo finish on that race. And I tell you what, as I saw him cross the line, I'm going to say the 2-horse was across first. This is unofficial. The 3-horse came across in third, and the 4-horse came across.
Waiting results from our photo finish technician, Jessica Bruner.
As she takes a look at
We
that.
appreciate all of our officials, including the photo finish technician. When they're needed, they are so valuable.
Lisa getting some pictures over from the barn area and so forth. Scratch.
And your horse, Miss Class Time.
All right, that's the official deal. By a nostril. And we've seen some that look like maybe the horse exhaled at the right time and flared them nostrils out. That
Here comes your the Illini Colt Stakes 2-year-old filly trot. The plenty of Titus family walking out to present that blanket to Jerome. Jerome squares up that filly. Miss Class Time is a 2-year-old filly by class included out of the Pilgrim's Chucky mare, Miss Primetime Mel. That filly trained and driven by Springfield's own Jerome Daniels wins the John Titus Memorial Blanket today's third race. Give him a big round of applause, folks. Miss Class Time.
Again, folks, that was a close race. We can go back here, and I can put that back up for you so that you can watch that again. That's on here. We'll play that just because it was a great finish to a race. As we get the local video back up there, you can take a watch at what's going on here.
Just want to remind the horsemen we are scratching the post parades for the rest of the day. In the coming race, the
what's
fourth
that
race
real
to the end of the
time
card, we're
coming
going to go right
across,
to the gate.
and it
Horsemen
was
right
the
to the gate.
2 coming across that line by our camera, and just a really great race there. I need to get that replay a little bit longer and maybe a little bit slower at times so that we can see that. But the 4 made a push, but it was just a little bit late there on that with what was going on. And so we're thankful for that.
Look ahead at today's fourth race. We have a couple driver change we passed along earlier. We'll give them to you again. The 2-horse Sutton Chili is driven by Clay Simpson today. Clay Simpson will drive the 2 Sutton Chili. The 3-horse Loose Fortitude will have Clark Fairley in the bike from right around here in Lerna, Illinois. And driving the 7 we'll have Wyatt Avenatti. Look at the program, you'll notice the driver changes were necessary because we have 4 horses owned by Dennis Gardner, a couple trained by him, a couple trained by Jill herself, Jill Brown from right here in Charleston. Got to shuffle the drivers around and get coverage on all these horses.
And so we get to race 4 coming up here. Appreciate your viewing and watching today. Without viewers, hey, there's no need for us to do what we are doing. We are thankful for that. Schedule is coming close to an end. Originally, you had seen that we were scheduled to be in Marshall, Illinois, but we've had to cancel that due to Lisa and I were the only ones going. David had to work on that Monday. We were going to go, but we had a family death, so we will be going to that funeral on Monday. So just keep our family in your prayers as we go to that funeral for that family member. We're here at Charleston today. Then we head to Mount Sterling for Saturday and Sunday. Folks, in that Mount Sterling race on Sunday is a stakes race is the first 7 races. I think overall there's over around $100,000 worth of prize money available. There is, I believe, 12 races that day. The first race, the purse on the first race is $22,000. And then I think it goes down to like 11 after that, but you see a purse between $80,000 and $100,000, folks. There are horses and from Chicago and all around for those races on Sunday. Saturday is a full card, 13 races on Saturday, so a lot of horses on the hoof in Brown County for those races coming up there in Brown County. As we get ready for race 4 coming up to you, we're a third after this race. We'll be a third of the way. A couple of changes for you. Clay Simpson on the 2-horse Sutton Chili, and then Clark Fairley on the 3-horse, then Wyatt Avenatti down on the 7-horse. Those are the changes. And I was going to look. I don't think Lisa and I did not get any. I don't think on that last race. It was 2-4-3, and we picked 3-4-2. So wrong by us all the way around. We didn't do well. So on that one, nothing. Now, on this one, we both picked the 2-horse. Sutton Chili, really the only horse that's, other than the 7, that's won. I'm thinking about changing some of mine due to some driver changes. Lisa picked a 2, followed by the 6, Fox Valley Victor, the Freddie Patton Jr., and then the, 2, the 6, and then the 7th. And I'm sure she would have picked that one higher if she'd known Wyatt Avenatti was driving that horse. Right now, I'm going 2, 3, 1. I tell you what, I am going to change my picks. Let's see, the one who drove, Travis Seekman's driven that horse in the win on the Send It to Emmett. Let's see. I'm trying to look here.
Got one horse warming up. If the field for the 4th race is out, we'll do a post-parade quickly. We won't do a post-parade. We'll read through the program after this warm-up leaves the track shortly.
I tell you what, I'm going to stay right where I'm at. Clay Simpson drove that horse to victory in Altamont on Monday or Tuesday. So I'm going to stick with my picks. I went 2, 6, 7. Or Lisa went 2, 6, 7. I went 2, 3, 1.
While we
And
wait
so
for the
we'll
warming
keep
up
our
horse
picks
to get
the
off
same.
the track, we'll go ahead
I'll
and
let
go
the
through
track
our
announcer,
field for the today's
David
fourth
Brink,
race.
take over.
Today's fourth race is the Illini Colt Stakes 2-year-old colt and gelding trot, sponsored by the Flacco Family Farms LLC, a 1-mile trot racing for a purse of $5,406. The one is Lou Beduino, owned by Flacco Family Farms, trained right here by Jill Brown, driven by her husband Chris Brown. The 2, Sutton Chili, is owned and trained by Danny Gardner of West Salem, driven today by Clay Simpson. The 3, Lou's Fortitude, is owned by Jill Brown of Charleston and David Gingrich of Charlton, Iowa, trained by Jill Brown, driven by Clark Fairley. The 4 horse is Denny Lou, owned by Denny Gardner of West Salem, trained by Jill Brown of right here in Charleston, driven by Richard S. Finn. The 5 horse, Call Me Maybe, is owned by Denny Gardner of West Salem, Illinois, trained by Denny Gardner, driven by, you guessed it, Dennis Gardner. The 6 horse is Fox Valley Victor, owned by Perry Tillman of Bolton, Mississippi, trained and driven by Freddie Patton Jr. And the 7, Send It Emmett, is owned and trained by Denny Gardner of West Salem, Illinois. Make that driver Wyatt Avenetti. Field reaches the gate. Gate begins to roll. From the inside out, today's fourth race, Lou Beduino and Chris Brown, Sutton Chili and Clay Simpson, Lou's Fortitude, Clark Fairley, Denny Lou and Richard S. Finn, Call Me Maybe, and Dennis Gardner, Fox Valley Victor, Freddie Patton Jr., Send It Emmett, Wyatt Avenetti. Break on the 6, Fox Valley Victor. The gate begins to pick up speed. Here they come. And they're off and trotting and quickly between horses. It's Sutton, Chili, and Clay Simpson away for the lead. Racing along their second now is Call Me Maybe and Denny Gardner. Making a break their third now is Send It Emmett. Back their fourth. Looks to be Lou's Fortitude and Clark Fairley. But on top, it's all Sutton, Chili, and Clay Simpson on top by a handful of lengths now as they race towards that quarter-mile marker. Sutton, Chili on top by about 10, 12 lengths. Denny Gardner races second with the stablemate. We hit that, going towards that quarter-mile marker, and Clay Simpson's on top still by about 10 lengths with Sutton Chili. They race into that second turn. They get to the quarter. 29 2/5 of a second. A monster opening quarter for 2-year-old colt trotters. They hit that second turn. They're being led by Sutton Chili. Clay Simpson has his hands full. Oh, we have a break now as Call Me Maybe and Denny Gardner. Between horses looks to be Send It Emmett's going to inherit second. Racing back their third, it's Lou's Fortitude. Leaders approaches the half-mile marker, still being led by Sutton Chili and Clay Simpson. They race past that half-mile marker. They hit that post with a time 101 flat. 101 flat for the 2-year-old colt trotters. They race in that third turn, and here the gap is closing. Close it now. Here comes Wyatt Avenetti and Send It Emmett. On top is still Sutton Chili. Send It Emmett tips to the outside to take over the lead now. Wyatt Avenetti takes that horse to the outside, gets on top by about a length. Opening now 2, racing back their third now is still Call Me Maybe. With the break now is Lou's Fortitude. Racing up the inside is Fox Valley Victor. The field races towards that 3/4-mile marker, and it's Send It Emmett on top now by about 5 lengths, and Wyatt Avenetti, the top fair driver this year, 133 3 to the 3/4. And now it's going to be Send It Emmett by 10, 12 in his own zip code out there. It's Wyatt Avenetti on top by a ton. The field's going to straighten for home, and they're all strung out by about a 16th of a mile, but not the leader. Send It Emmett is going to crush this field. Send It Emmett is going to be the winner of today's fourth race, the Flacco Family Farms LLC Trophy. Send It Emmett and Wyatt Avenetti. Second's going to be Call Me Maybe and Denny Gardner. Tight for third. 2:06 and 1/5 of a second was the time for your mile. 2:06, 1/5 of a second.
Mile and 2:06 and 1. We'll have that up there for you. And the horse that I was going to change my pick to and decided not ends up winning the race. I mean, folks, that happens. Sometimes you need to go with your gut rather than with the facts, as Randy Callahan says. Instead of with the chalk, you need to make some other educated picks. And so we'll get those out there and get the updates up on the board for you as we get ready for the results on race 4. And so was a 1 a scratch? I'll double check.
And back in front of the grandstand was the winner of today's 4th race. Send It Emmett.
And I might have missed a horse there, but I don't think I did.
Send It Emmett is a 2-year-old gelded son by class included out of the Donato Hanover mare, Sweet Tart Hanover. He's owned and trained by Denny Gardner. And Denny passed the lines off to Illinois' top county fair driver year after year, Wyatt Avenatti. Send It Emmett, the winner of today's 4th race.
That's okay. Do you need the picture? He says he doesn't need a picture. He'll trust your judgment. All right. Thanks, Jessica. Bye-bye.
7, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 1 on the bottom.
All right. We've got an official finish here for you. It was the 7-horse winning, followed by the 5, followed by the 6.
Results are in for today's 4th race. The 1-horse Lou Beduino was 7th. The 2 Sutton Chili was 4th.
Yep. Thank you.
The 3 Lou's Fortitude finished 5th. The 4 Denny Lou was 6th.
Thank you.
The 5 Call Me Mavie was 2nd. The 6 Fox Valley Victor was 3rd. And the 7 Send It Emmett was your winner. The quarter was in 29 2/5. The half was in 101 flat. 3/4 in 133 3. Time for the mile 206 flat. Race 4 checks down 7, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 1 on the bottom. 29 2, 101 flat, 133 3, 206 for the mile.
Yoder's Custom working. You want to know how many races today? We have 11 races today. How many races today? 11. I'm not able to punch in and make a comment on the chat like David does, but how many races? We've got 11 races on the card for today's race. And so with that, I hope that answers your question that you're listening out there, but 11. And so with that, as we get ready to go, just so happens, Yoders, you are next in the commercial block. So stop by them and look at that custom cabinet work that we've got in the pictures here.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
Make plans now to attend the 25th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic has been producing champions for a quarter century, including reigning Illinois Divisional Champions On Higher Ground and Scorecard Dandy. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 2nd at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. Come join us and finish the summer strong.
Wait, before you go and get your snacks and drinks, sorry, make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Alright, to the show.
All right, we want to thank David's boys for doing that commercial. We need you to subscribe, but David's going to give $100 away to the seven. We're going to have a drawing when we reach 750, and so thankful for that. Chat 11 races. I'll put that in, and we've like for you to subscribe. As the more you subscribe, the better that does for us as far as the things that we can get from YouTube. Well, we're thankful for you subscribing to the channel and helping us out and getting those things for us as we get ready to go to race 5, as we're not quite halfway through this, as we get ready for the 11th race, toward 11 races today. And let's take a look at number 5. We've got one driver change on this that I've got noted already in the file. Richard Finn is driving Judge Me Not in that 3 spot. So let's take a look at what the horses are. We've got 4-horse race here. And as we've said, most of the time those have been good races for us. And so with that, Judge Me Not has had a couple of good last races for Jamaica Patton. Mike Cox has driven that horse the last couple of times. Today it'll be Richard Finn. Lisa and I both pick the 3-horse as it's coming up in things. Line to be announced. I don't know what happened with the Altamont with just another bag. That's Wyatt Avenatti driven horse. We got to have another driving change here in this race because Wyatt can't drive 2 horses at the same time. So we'll take a look at that. And then the 2-horse, I picked to finish Freddie Patton's horse to finish 3rd. And so I went 3-4-2. Lisa went 3-4-1. Just another bag. The David Avenatti horse there. And so it had a good... Chris Brown will be on the 4. Chris Brown on the 4. So we'll get that change made out.
Fields out for today's 5th race. Today's 5th race is the first division of our Topline series today for the 3-year-old and up trotters, the Elva Kaufman horseshoeing memorial or sponsored race. The 1 is Just Another Bag, owned by Autumn Perryman of Chrisman, trained by her dad Dave Avenatti, driven by her younger brother Wyatt Avenatti. The 2 horses, You Ain't No Fool, owned by LaQuinton Shavers of Brandon, Mississippi, trained by Roshan Trigg, driven by Freddie Patton Jr. The 3-horse, Judge Me Not, is owned by Ron Phillips of Athens, Jamaica Patton of Rochester, Sherry Boldovic of Lakewood, Colorado, trained by Jamaica Patton, driven today by Richard S. Finn. And the 4-horse is Lou's Interceptor, owned by Mr. Stacy L. DeRoos right here in Charleston, Illinois, trained by Jill Brown right over there in the first turn. Make that driver her husband, Chris Brown, on the 4.
And I tell you what, after you've done some races, as David and I and Lisa have done, there's times that I would pick a different horse based on who the driver is in that. I mean, honestly, Wyatt Avenatti is a hot commodity, a hot driver right now. He's driving a horse that he's driven all year long. It's got a couple of firsts. I don't know. I can't remember what it did.
Just Another Bag
yesterday over.
Making his way around the fair circuit this year, trying to collect track records. Set one at Carlinville earlier this summer in 2-2. Set the track record a couple days ago down there at Altamont.
Okay.
It should be a good race, though.
I'm going to change mine on record. I'm going to change it.
58 3/5 of a second.
I'm going to go 1.
It's still open for a 4-horse race.
3.
Today's 5th race, the top
4.
line for
I'm
3-year-old
changing
and
my
up
picks
trotters.
at the gate based on
Field reaches
that
the gate.
recent
Gate
information.
begins to
1,
roll.
3, 4. Lisa picks 3, 4, 1. Same horses, different order. Here we go.
From the inside out, it's just another bag in Wyatt Avenatti. You Ain't No Fool and Freddie Patton Jr., Judge Me Not, Richard S. Finn, and Lose, Interceptor, and Chris. Gate straightens for home. Begins to pick up speed. Nice start for these trotters, and here they come. They're off, and it's a great start for these trotters. And from the inside is going to be just another bag, and the Wyatt Avenatti racing back there. Second is Freddie Patton Jr., and You Ain't No Fool taking that field into the first turn. Just another bag on top by a couple 3 lengths. Racing second is You Ain't No Fool. Right there third is Judge Me Not. At the back of the pack is Lose, Interceptor. The field comes out of that first turn and races up the backstretch towards that quarter-mile marker there, being led by just another bag. Broken equipment on the one. Looks to be broken equipment on the one. Broken equipment on the one. Just Another Bag will take this field in the quarter-mile marker, being led by Just Another Bag. Racing back there second looks to be You Ain't No Fool and Freddie Patton Jr. 28-4. 28-4 to that quarter-mile marker. 28-4 and off stride goes Judge Me Not. But back on top is still Just Another Bag, and Wyatt Avenatti leading this field by about 7-8 lengths now. A closer second is You Ain't No Fool and Freddie Patton Jr. trying to chew up that gap and try to catch that leader now. They race towards that half-mile marker, still being led by the one horse, Just Another Bag with the broken equipment. You can see they're racing second is You Ain't No Fool and Freddie Patton Jr. Third now is Lose, Interceptor, closing that gap up there. Third, break on the one. The one horse made a break, folks. Our leader made a break. Leader made a break, and we're going to be inheriting the lead. Freddie Patton Jr. and You Ain't No Fool are going to grab that lead now after the breaker on the top. You Ain't No Fool's going to lead this field up that backstretch towards that 3/4 mile marker with the Lose, Interceptor on his back, heading towards that 3/4 mile marker. The field races towards that 3/4 mile pole now, being led by You Ain't No Fool and Freddie Patton Jr. out of the Rochun Trigg barn. Racing back there seconds, Lose, Interceptor, and Chris Brown. 129-3 to the 3/4. 129-3 on top still is You Ain't No Fool. Racing back there second by a couple lengths is Lose, Interceptor, and Chris Brown. Racing back there third now is Judge Me Not. At the back of the pack with equipment troubles is still Just Another Bag. They turn for home for the last time now, and it's You Ain't No Fool on top by 7 or 8 lengths. Freddie Patton Jr. goes to the whip to urge his horse on. He's going to win this one, tucks his whip, wins today's 5th race. You Ain't No Fool. It's a race for second. Photo finish for second between the 3-4 horse and the one, Just Another Bag, finished 4th with that broken equipment. Time for the mile, 2:01 and 2/5 of a second. A big mile for trotters out here. Time for that mile was 2:01 and 2/5 of a second. Today's 5th race, the Elva Kaufman Horseshoeing sponsored Topline for 3-year-old and up trotters. Awaiting our winner, the 2 horse You Ain't No Fool.
All right, folks. Good race. Broken equipment, as you heard on the one. That caused some difficulty with that horse. May have caused that horse to go off stride as it was leading the race.
And here comes our winner of today's 5th race, the $2,000 purse Top Line for 3-year-old and up trotters. And back in front of the grandstand, accepting the Elva Kaufman Horseshoeing Trophy, is the winner of the 2, You Ain't No Fool, and Freddie Patton Jr. You Ain't No Fool is a 4-year-old brown gelding by Don't Cheat on Me Now out of the Equinox Buy mare Rayleigh Super Nice, owned by trained by Roshan Trigg, driven today quite capably by veteran Freddie Patton Jr. Let's give a round of applause to the 2-horse, You Ain't No Fool. Results are in for today's 5th race. The 1-horse with the broken equipment finished 4th. The 2-horse, You Ain't No Fool, was your winner. The 3, Judge Me Not, was 3rd. The 4, Lose Interceptor, was 2nd. The quarter was in 28 and 4/5 of a second. The half in 58 and 3. 3/4, 129 and 3/5 of a second. Time for the mile, 2:01 and 2/5. Race 5 checks down from the top, 4:132 on the bottom. Race 6 due out in the backstretch in just a moment.
All right, that's how they finished. I got that time changed that I had wrong, 58 and 3. As we take a look at this, we'll go to our side-by-side view. Again, Lisa and I, neither one did really well. She picked the 2nd place horse, and that's all she finished in that. As we get ready to go with our 6th race here as we move right along with things. And so we thank our generous donors out there for helping us with this broadcast. That's what keeps it free, and I know people get tired of hearing that, but it is an important fact that we keep this free. That allows people everywhere to watch this, and everywhere we mean Canada. The one that gets me is that people that have an experience. I mean, we had comments from people last year, the fact that they were able to watch races from a fairground that they had never been to and probably wouldn't go to watch racing. So it's bringing that interest back in for the harnessmen. We thank the people that came around during COVID, that during COVID when people couldn't be at the track, and we're thankful for doing that. Again, if you'd like to donate, that's one of the things you can do with this still this year and help us out. And in going into next year, you can go to Venmo or PayPal and do @HarnessTube. That's Venmo or PayPal @HarnessTube.
Looking ahead to today's 6th race. Per person, $1,000. We're waiting for Double Parked, Can't Stay Too Long, Freaky, and Skip Jive.
I have been interested in truck driving my whole life. I've been fascinated with the big rig since I was a kid. But after college, I got into business on the marketing side of things, kind of shelved the dream. 30 years later, I quit my job, signed up for truck driving school. It was exciting from the get-go. Dot recruited out of my truck driving school. The job was everything I was hoping it would be, and then some. My weeks absolutely fly by. When my life needed fulfillment, I took the wheel.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
You'll see on the card there has made $150,000 almost. Took a lifetime mark last year at the DuQuoin State Fair over that lightning fast clay surface in 150 and 1/5 of a second. The 4-horse Skip Jive is owned locally by Betty Landman of Charleston, trained locally by Stan Swisher. That horse has banked over almost $250,000 lifetime, taking a mark a couple years ago, and 50 and 3 at Vernon Downs over that 7/8 track. Hey Freaky, a winner last year at 2 minutes at Northfield. 2-horse Can't Stay Too Long. Winner of 5 lifetime starts with a mark of 54 and 3 at 2, so it's a tough field, top to bottom. Today's 6th race. The JRD Pulse Memorial First Division Topline for 3 old and up pacers.
All right, back with you as we continue to go on with racing today. Lisa and I picked we picked the same 3 horses, but in a different order. With that, we both picked the 1 horse, Double Parked. Double Parked, like I said, I didn't hear what it did at Altamont for the line change, but it's had 2 seconds before this. Wyatt Avenetti actually driving this horse, one of the hottest drivers out there. If you're looking for who's driving the horse, that's a Kevin Miller trained horse, and again, a good trainer. I picked the 3 horse, Hey Freaky. Richard Finn's going to drive that horse. And then I picked, Skip Jive, Harold Finn Jr. driving that horse for 3rd. Lisa picked it 1, 2, 4. So she's picking Can't Stay Too Long. I picked the Can't Stay Too Long in the, let's see, make sure I'm right here, folks. 1, 4, 2. So nobody picked Hey Freaky there. 1, 4, 2 for Steve. 1, 2, 4 for Lisa. And so that's your picks from people who don't know a lot about harness racing, but I've seen a lot of races in the last 2 years. And so with that, we're ready. Anytime the track announcer is ready to go, they're waiting for horses to get on the track. We are not doing post-parade.
And the field is out for today's 6th race. Let's meet our field. Today's 6th race is a 1 mile pace for $1,000. The Topline 3-year-old and up pace, 1st division, the Junior D. Pultz Memorial. The 1 horse is Double Parked, owned by Kevin Miller of Arthur, trained by Kevin Miller, driven today by Wyatt Avenetti. The 2 horse Can't Stay Too Long is owned by Charles Hurst Jr. of Houston, Texas, trained by Roshan Trigg, driven by Freddie Patton Jr. The 3 horse Hey Freaky is owned by Freaky Luck Stable of Springfield, trained by Tyler Stephen Clemens, driven today by Richard S. Finn. Rate the driver Richard S. Finn on the 3. The 4 horse Skip Jive is owned locally here in Charleston by Betty Landman, trained locally by Stan Swisher. Make the driver Harold Finn Jr. on the 4, Skip Jive. Field approaches that gate. The gate begins to roll.
As I approach the gate here, I'm going to send back over to the view to just the camera.
Field approaches the starting gate. Today's 6th race from the inside out. It's Double Parked and Wyatt Avenetti. Can't Stay Too Long and Freddie Patton Jr. Hey Freaky, Richard Finn. And Skip Jive and Harold Finn. Gate straightens for home. Begins to pick up speed. And here they come. It's a break on the 3, Hey Freaky, but quickly from the inside is going to be Double Parked away for the lead. Racing along their seconds, Can't Stay Too Long. Racing back their 3rd is Skip Jive into that first turn. They're being led by Double Parked and Wyatt Avenetti. At the back of the pack is Hey Freaky. Double Parked and Wyatt Avenetti turn out of that first turn, head up the backstretch for the first time and race towards that 1/4 mile marker, being on top by about 4 or 5 lengths. Racing back their seconds, Freddie Patton Jr. and Can't Stay Too Long. Racing back their 3rd is Skip Jive. They hit that 1/4 mile marker, still being led by Double Parked, the Kevin Miller trainee, driven by Wyatt Avenetti. 28 and 1/5 of a second to the opening quarter. 28 and 1. Double Parked on top by a couple lengths. Back there second now is the Roshan Trigg trainee, Freddie Patton Jr. aboard. Can't Stay Too Long, racing tightly there second. Closing that gap a little bit, racing back their 3rd, Harold Finn and Skip Jive. At the back of the pack is Hey Freaky. Wyatt's got a handful of that filly as they head towards a half-mile marker, still being led by the 7-year-old mare, Sagebrush mare, Double Parked. 106, 56 and 4? 56 and 4? 56 and 4 to the half. 56 and 4/5 of a second to the half-mile marker. On top is still Double Parked, on top by about a length and a half. Racing back there second, Can't Stay Too Long as Junior Patton pops the earplugs. Skip Jive at back there 3rd and Harold Finn tries to make this a race. But on top, they're going to have to catch Double Parked. Wyatt Avenetti opens up the throttle a little bit, and that filly responds, grabbing the top by about a couple, 3 lengths. 126 flat to the 3/4 mile marker. 126 flat. and double parked. Opens up now by 3 or 4 lengths on top. White begins to go to that whip, racing back there seconds. Can't stay too long, and Freddie Pat Jr. put in a nice mile for Roshan Trig trainee. Racing back there third is Skip Jive. But they're going to have to catch. Double parked. This mare's on top by a handful now, and Wyatt's just cruising, folks, right in front of the grandstand. Let's give it up for the winner of today's 6th race, Double Parked. Second was Can't Stay Too Long. Skip Jive was third, and Hey Freaky was a DNF. Did not finish. Time for that mile. 1:55 and 1/5 of a second. A huge mile for Double Parked.
All right. Maybe some sort of record here for aged mares. I will hear from David Brink, the track announcer, 1:55 and 1.
And here she is, folks. Let's give a big round of applause for not only the winner of today's 6th race, but also the new track record holder for aged mare pacers at the Coles County Fair, 1:55 and 1/5 of a second. Double parked.
And Lisa gets her third trifecta.
Double park crushes over in a 10-year-old track record. Mike Nicely had the aged mare pace, 56 and 3 or 4, but Wyatt says bye-bye, guys, and puts this one in the books. 1:55, 1/5 of a second. Double parked, owned by Kevin Miller, trained by Kevin Miller, driven by Mr. Track Record, Wyatt Avenatti.
Again, folks, hot driver. Hot driver and
Race
breaking
6,
records at tracks.
down from the top. Double parked was your winner. The 2, Can't Stay Too Long, was second. The 3, Hey Freaky, did not finish, pulled up. The 4 horse Skip Jive was third. The quarter was in 28 and 1. The half in 56 and 4/5. 3/4 126 flat. Time for the mile 1:55 and 1. A new aged mare pace track record at the Coles County Fair. Double parked.
Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport is the go-to mobile home transportation company. We provide top-notch services including moving, block and leveling, and even demolitions with a quick turnaround time. If you're looking to move or get rid of your mobile home, Pine Ridge is the company to call. We now have dumpsters available for rent at competitive rates. Contact Wayne at 217-313-9744 or find us on Facebook.
Back with us as we want to thank our sponsors out there, and a great view. Lisa gives you views of different things that are happening around the fair. We're thankful for her and giving those views out there of what's going on as we get ready for race 7 of 11 today, moving right along with these races today. Nice cool breeze. It's warm if you're out there in the sun, direct sun. But David Brink was talking about this with county fairs, with the open space. You get a lot of breeze, it seems like, when you come to the fairgrounds. But we're thankful for that breeze today, as it's made it very, very comfortable to do this. I'm not the sweaty mess that I was yesterday. It's not close. Yesterday over at Altamont, even though temperature was a little cooler, it was a lot more humid. Of course, we'd had some rain yesterday morning. And again, if you'd like to get on our advertising for next year, as it's a little late to do that this year, as we only have 2 days left after today in Brown County. We would love to have you on board for 2025. If you're interested in having us come do your fair, get in contact with David also with that same contact information to talk about coming to your county fair and your racing days. A lot of it depends on what else is going on and who else we're established with for dates. We love it when the dates don't fall on top of each other because there's a lot of good harness racing out there and throughout the state all summer long. We encourage you to get to your county fair and watch racing at your own county fair as we get ready here for race number 7. Race number 7 right now has 4 horses in it. I haven't heard any changes so far in this. Let's take a look. Lisa's got the hot hand today. I don't think there's a chance in the world that I'm going to beat her. She's got 3 trifectas today. She's getting David Brink kind of numbers in the picks for today. 4-horse race. I'm picking Cosmic Mega Playboy, the Stan Swisher horse. Marcus Detweiler driving that horse. It got a first over here in Charleston on Monday of this week. And I'm going with a young hot driver there. Mac Diesel got a first in Charleston on Monday, also in a different heat. That is the Jill Brown horse. I'm picking that second. And Wyatt Avenetti driving Fox Valley B Gump. I'm putting in that third spot. Lisa went 2. She's going with Mac Diesel first, and she's going with the number 1 horse, Cosmic Mega Play, second, and she's going with Heavy Pressure in that 4th spot. Heavy Pressure in that 4th spot. That horse got a first down in DuQuoin on the 27th, and a second the 23rd in Urbana. We saw that horse over in Urbana. So just looking at that, that's what our picks are for this coming race, and we'll see what happens with that in this race. Waiting for the track announcer, David Brink, to take back over as we're waiting for horses to get on the track for this next race. Glad that we could hear from you. If you want to give me a shout out on the chat, we love that. We want to thank the people that have already, that keep us when the sound's not right or something's not right, tells us about that so that we can get that changed, because there's no way for us to just monitor it on our own. We rely on you folks for that. I want to thank that. Beautiful stand picture there. You can see we've got a good crowd in the stands considering the time of day that this is going on and the fact that there's racing going on right now over at Altamont. Altamont's about a half hour into their racing, and if they're moving as fast as they did yesterday, we did 6 races in about an hour and 12 minutes yesterday. And so that's about 12 minutes per race. A good average normally is about 15 minutes a race, and in the older days, I would say a minute and 20 with everything going on. But again, I say that's because of the generation that we're in now, that we need to keep things moving, keep people interested. When there's a lot of time between the races, you lose that interest in the grandstands. And so we're thankful for the speed of what's going on. This is a 3-year-old and up pace Topline race. Purse is $1,000. Purse is $1,000 on this.
Looking through the updated trainer standings for the Coles County Fair 2024, Kevin Miller having a great day today with 3 wins, closing that gap on Charleston's Jill Brown, but Jill still holding the lead in that race for trainer with 1 point advantage, 49 points to Kevin's 48. And of course, for a win, the trainer receives 5 points. For second place, they receive 3. And for third, they receive a single point. So plenty of racing left to go. It's anyone's game to get that Trainer's Award, 2024 Coles County Fair.
All right. I want to thank our sponsors. David Brink, your track announcer today. He's done the track announcing here on Wednesday and today. He was also over in Springfield, one of the Saturdays that they had in Springfield.
Fields out for today's 7th race.
Turn it back over to him and Lisa.
Let's meet our starters. Today's 7th race is a 1 mile pace for a purse of $1,000. The top line stake for 3-year-old and up division, second division, sponsored by the Coles County Fair. The one, Cosmic Mega Playboy, is owned by Betty Landman of right here in Charleston, trained by Stan Swisher right here in Charleston, driven today by Marcus Detweiler. The two-horse Mock Diesel is owned by Flacco Family Farms, LLC of Alexis, trained and driven by our trainer standings leader, Jill Brown. The three-horse Fox Valley B Gump is owned by Kevin Miller, trained by Kevin Miller, driven by Wyatt Avenetti. And the four-horse is Heavy Pressure, owned by Latoya Hewitt of Clinton, Mississippi, trained by Roshan Trigg, driven today by Freddie Patton Jr. That field reaches the gate. The gate begins to roll. Race 7 will start just a moment. From the inside out, we got Cosmic Mega Playboy and Marcus Detweiler, Mock Diesel and Jill Brown, Fox Valley B Gump, Wyatt Avenetti, and Heavy Pressure and Freddie Finn Jr. Gate begins to pick up speed. And here they come. It's a great start for these four pacers, but between horses looks to be Fox Valley B Gump puts a nose in front as they race towards that first turn. It's Fox Valley B Gump. They're sticking ahead in front. Fighting on the inside is Mock Diesel and Jill Brown. Fox Valley B Gump puts a head and neck half length in front to establish that lead now for Wyatt Avenetti. Fox Valley B Gump's going to lead this field up the backstretch towards that quarter-mile marker for the first time. Fox Valley B Gump on top by a couple lengths, racing back there second, Mock Diesel. On the outside third is Heavy Pressure. On the inside racing fourth, Cosmic Mega Playboy. They hit that quarter-mile marker. 28 seconds flat. 28 flat, the quarter-mile marker. They're being led by Fox Valley B Gump and Wyatt Avenetti. Racing back there second still is Jill Brown and Mock Diesel. Racing third, Heavy Pressure, and at the back of the pack, Cosmic Mega Playboy. The field straightens for home and races towards that half-mile marker in front of the grandstand for the first time today. They're being led still by that three-horse Fox Valley B Gump, but here comes a move from the one. It's Cosmic Mega Playboy to the outside to challenge and race up to be third now. There's 57 and 3/5 of a second, 57 and 3 to the half. They're still being led by Fox Valley B Gump, though, as Wyatt has a horse in hand, racing out of that third turn, up the backstretch for the second time. Back there in the pocket there second is Jill Brown and Mock Diesel. Squeezing between horses now is Heavy Pressure and Freddie Patton Jr. to get challenged on the outside now. We're being led by Fox Valley B Gump, but here comes Heavy Pressure and Freddie Patton to drive right on by, put a neck in front. They race past that three-quarter-mile marker. 27 and 2, 127 and 2/5 of a second. We have a new leader now. It's Heavy Pressure take this field out of that last turn into the home stretch for the last time today. They're being led by the four-horse Heavy Pressure. Racing back there second is Fox Valley B Gump and Wyatt Avenetti. Back there third is Mock Diesel, but they're going to have to catch Heavy Pressure on top by 10, 12 lengths now. It's going to be a race for second. Heavy Pressure wins today's seventh race. It's going to be Fox Valley B Gump home second. Mock Diesel was third, and Cosmic Mega Playboy finished fourth. Time for the mile. 155 and 3/5 of a second. 155 and 3. Heavy Pressure. Winning connections from the Roshan Trigg barn coming trackside to accept the Coles County Fair trophy for the second division. The Topline 3 holding up pace. Awaiting our winner here, Heavy Pressure. Time for the mile was 155 and 3/5 of a second. And let's meet our winner. Here comes Heavy Pressure, the 5-year-old horse by Real Desire. He's owned by Latoya Hewitt. This horse was out of an Arts Conquest mare named I Know It's Sydney. Latoya trusts this horse to Roshan Trigg to do the training duties. Roshan passing the driving duties off to Junior Patton. Let's give a round of applause for today's 7th race winner, Heavy Pressure, 1:55 and 3/5 of a second. Race 7 results are in. The 1-horse Cosmic Mega Playboy finished 4th. The 2 Mock Diesel was 3rd. The 3 Fox Valley B Gump was 2nd. And the 4 Heavy Pressure was your winner. The quarter was in 28 seconds flat. The half was in 57 and 3/5 of a second. 3 quarters 1:27 and 2. Time for the mile 1:55 and 3/5 of a second. Heavy Pressure, the winner of today's 7th race.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166. Back with you on Harness Tube as we get ready for race 8. Race 8 is going to be a 2-horse race. The 2 scratched. And so for me, it'll be 1-3. With that, Lisa, she is going to be 3-1. So 3-1. And for Lisa, she's going to go with Jerome Daniels, Don't Catch Me. And I'm going to go with Loose Quacker, driven by the Jill Brown horse, driven by Chris Brown today. And so just a 2-horse race. Shouldn't take too long for those 2 horses, I would think, to get out here. Looking for, let's see, Jerome Daniels did not drive last race, neither did Chris Brown. So we should be seeing those 2 horses fairly quick out here and get this race on the way for race number 8. And so with that, as we get ready to go here, Lane Avanetti pointed out, yes, 4 records for Wyatt Avanetti, 3 over in Altamont on Wednesday and 1 here today. I believe Aging Geldings was so. And so track announcer today announcing some things to the crowd that have thing here. So David Brink is holding up on his announcing as we get ready to go with that race 8 for the day. $2,000 pot on this 2-year-old trot. With that, just looking at some things out there. The Don't Catch Me, not the 3-horse. The Jerome Daniels horse has had 2 starts. Failure.
Race officials were just up here in the judges' stand doing some scratching and counting real quick, and it looks like we now have a tie for our trainer standings between Kevin Miller and Jill Brown. They're both tied at 50 points each. Jill's got one in this coming up race, the 8th race. With a scratch of the 2, it's only a 2-horse race. Jill's, if she stays up and finishes the race, should get 3 points, leaving Kevin's last horse in the last race to try to make all the difference for that trainer's crown at the 2024 Coles County Fair.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast and have over the last couple of years as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Try to do a better job each time that we get out in what we're doing and how we set up. Could we give a better camera view? Yes. If you'd like to step up and volunteer to be like a second camera for us at some of these tracks, you can contract David Brink. We're giving you the best view from the stands in most cases that any spectator would get at the track. And so a lot of times there's obstacles and things that we cannot control, like here. You've got a couple of nice shade trees here in the center. You've got a little bit of equipment today. They've done a better job of getting some of the horse trailers out of the way for today's race. We tried a second camera up in Farmer City. There are can do that, but when you think about second cameras, there are obstacles. Unless you're going with a battery pack, you've got to have electricity, and you've got to have a good place to set up. And let's think about this. I mean, when we went, it was a fairly warm afternoon and went into evening, so it did cool down a little bit, but David Brink was in the open sun running the camera in Farmer City. So we'd like to have a nice place for them to be comfortable. We don't want anybody going down during the broadcast. Lisa usually ends up in the grandstands across from the start-finish line, so she can give that view to you.
Fields out
and usually even like
1 mile trot for a purse of $2,000 in the Topline stakes for 2-year-old trotters. We're scratching the 2 horse. The 1 horse, Lou's Quacker, is owned by David Gingrich of Chariton, Iowa, trained by Jill Brown right here in Charleston, Illinois, driven by her husband, Chris Brown. Scratch the 2, Illini Star. The 3 horse, Don't Catch Me Now, is owned, trained, and driven by Jerome Daniels of Springfield, Illinois. Field moves towards that mobile starting gate on the backstretch. And the field reaches that mobile starting gate. And top line 2-year-old trot. From the inside, Lou's Quacker for David Gingrich and trainer Jill Brown. Driver Chris Brown in the bike. The 3 horse, Don't Catch Me Now, for owner-trainer-driver Jerome Daniels. Straightens for home stretch, picks up speed. Break on the 3 horse. Don't Catch Me Now just made a break. Lou's Quacker inherits a nice, easy lead for Chris Brown as they race towards that first turn now. Back of the back is Jerome Daniels made a break behind the gate. Ends off stride again. Off stride is the 3 horse. The 1 horse, Lou's Quacker, on top all by himself now. They race out of that first turn now up the backstretch. Lou's Quacker all alone. This 2-year-old Lou's Legacy. Out of the powerful emotion mare, Skillful Quacker, has made 4 lifetime starts, finished 3rd twice. Has put almost $600 on his card and leads this field towards that quarter-mile marker. They cross that post in a time of 32 and 2/5 of a second. 32 and 2 to that quarter-mile marker. Chris Brown, the Jill Brown trainee, Lou's Quacker for David Gingrich, still on top of this 8th race top line race as they head towards that home stretch for the first time. Here comes Chris Brown and Lou's Quacker on top by plenty, we'll say. Chris Brown's going to lead this field past that half now. They hit that half-mile marker in a time of 4 3/5 of a second. 104 and 3/5 of a second. They're racing that 3rd turn now. It's Lou's Quacker on top by Chris Brown off the quarter in 104, or half in 104 and 3. They head up the backstretch and now on top is still Chris Brown. This 2-year-old gelding shows 2 third-place finishes. If all goes well, should inherit his first lifetime win. Races past that 3/4 mile marker. No. 1:36 and 4/5 of a second to the 3/4. 1:36 and 4. All alone out there is Lou's Quacker and Chris Brown. Looking for the lion's share of this $2,000 purse in the top line stakes for 2-year-old trot, the Coles County sponsored race. This win, Lou's Quacker and Chris Brown is going to give his wife, Jill Brown, a 5-point lead in that trainer's standings for the Coles County Fair. Let's give it up for Lou's Quacker, the winner of today's 8th race, and Chris and Jill Brown. Finishing back their seconds, Don't Catch Me, and Jerome Daniels. Time for the miles, 2:09 and 2/5 of a second.
Now the crowd really happy with that. I'm really happy with that because that got me another win, 4 wins, but there's no way that I'm passing up Miss Lisa today with her 3 trifectas out there. I have 4 wins. She has 1, 2, 3 trifectas, and those are the only wins she has. But she's going to top me as far as the day's concerned. As we get done with that race, we'll be head into race 9 here. I'm not going to keep it for long here, as it should be a quick rundown. There shouldn't be any
Winner
problems.
of race 8 makes his way back to the winner's circle. Chris Brown doing all the heavy lifting for wife Jill Brown, adding 5 points to that trainer's total, putting her firmly in the lead, awaiting Kevin Miller's. Got 1 starter in today's final race, the 11th race, to see if he can match to tie Jill for the Trainers Championship here at the Coles County Fair. Here's the winner of today's 8th race. The Coles County Fair sponsored Topline 2-year-old trot. And Jill meets her winning trainee. Lou's Cracker is a 2-year-old gelded son by Lou's Legacy out of the powerful Emotion mare, Skillful Quacker, owned by David Gingrich of Chariton, Iowa, trained by Jill Brown, our leading trainer of the Coles County Fair, and driven by her husband, Chris Brown. Let's give a big round of applause for our leading trainer of the week and her husband, Chris Brown. Lou's Quacker, winner of today's 8th.
All right, there's how it
Results
finished.
are in for today's 8th race. The 1-horse Lou's Quacker was your winner. The 2-horse was a scratch. And the 3-horse Don't Catch Me Now finished 3rd. The quarter was in 32 and 2/5 of a second. The half in 104 and 3. 3/4, 136 and 4. Time for the mile, 2:09 and 2. A new lifetime mark for Lou's Quacker.
Make plans now to attend the 25th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic has been producing champions for a quarter century, including reigning Illinois divisional champions On Higher Ground and Scorecard Dandy. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 2nd at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. Come join us and finish the summer strong.
Wait, before you go and get your snacks and drinks, make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Alright, to the show.
Back to the show from David's kids. David's son made that commercial. I just have a blast with that commercial of what's going on. We'd love to have you like or subscribe the channel as we get ready for things to move forward here. That helps us out tremendously with that when you like or subscribe the channel there. We're thankful that you're watching today and a part of the broadcast. As we bring you harness racing. This weekend we'll have harness racing for you from Brown County, Illinois, Mount Sterling to be exact, with big stakes races on Sunday. Almost $100,000 worth of horses are around that number. With that, 7 of those being big stakes races. The first one right out of the gate, $22,000 purse. Folks, that's worth watching. We want to thank those who have donated to us and helped us keep this free. It keeps it free by advertisers. So if you'd like to advertise in 2025, get a hold of David early, and we'll get you on as one of our advertisers. Number 2, you can do advertising. You can do 30-second commercials, or you can do what we call billboard sponsors that are just general information up there, not a 30-second ad. And then thirdly, you can donate. If you'd love to donate to keep us on the air, to keep things going, we'd appreciate that. Over a 3-hour drive for us down from Mount Sterling, down to come here for 3 days of racing. Then we have a couple of nights of hotel, food, things like that we have to do. So you can do that through Venmo or PayPal at Harness Tube. If you
County Fair. The one, Carry on Beach, is owned by Perry Tillman of Bolton, Mississippi, trained by Jamaica Patton. Make that driver Richard S. Finn. The 2 is a scratch the 2. The 3, What's Up, You Tell Me, is owned by Curtis Bankston Jr. of Clinton, Mississippi, trained by Dennis Bankston, driven today by Dennis Bankston. And the 4 horse is Rushville, owned by Ed Teefy of Mount Sterling, Illinois, trained by Clay Simpson, driven today by Wyatt Avenatti. Make that driver Wyatt Avenatti. The 5 horse is In a Major Way, owned by Taurus Tucker of Brandon, Mississippi, trained by Roshan Trigg. Driver is Freddie Patton Jr. 4 horses due at the gate shortly.
All right, let's take a look at the picks from Lisa and I for this race. All three horses that we picked, different order. I picked the 4 horse Rushville with Wyatt Avenatti at the reins. This horse has done really well. What few starts it's had: second in Urbana, a second in Springfield, and at Newton it got a first. And so I like this horse's chances of continuing. It seems like a strong horse depending on the field that it's going with. The horse I picked second was in a Major Way. That's a Rashawn Trigg horse, Freddie Patton Jr. driving that horse. That horse has done really well, and I can see why people might pick that horse. I don't have the ultimate start down there, but 2 thirds, 2 first, and a second. And so looking at
from
that.
The grandstand, In a Major Way in his young career, 2-year-old career, the son of Major Bombay, has made 5 lifetime starts, 2 of those winning efforts, 2 seconds and a third, never finishing off the board for that Major Bombay colt out of the On a Tear mare, Windy Acres Peggy, out of the 5 hole in today's 9th race. Gate rolls on the track, field bunches on the backstretch.
Lisa picked the 3 horse, which it's What's Up, You Tell Me, Dennis Bankston horse. And so she picked that horse to win and finish second in a Major Way. Third, she finished Rushville. So I have 4, 5, 3. She has 3, 5, 4. I wouldn't bet against my wife today with 3 trifectas, but I think I'm closer to being right than she is on this race.
Approaching that gate. With the scratch of the 2, I Like Whiskers, we have a 4 horse field. In the Topline 2-year-old pace, 1 mile pace, sponsored by the Coles County Fair for a purse of $2,000. And that field meets the gate. The gate begins to roll. From the inside out, it's Carry On Beach, trained by Jamaica Patton, driven by Richard Finn. Scratch the 2, What's Up, You Tell Me, trained and driven by Dennis Bankston. Rushville, trained by Clay Simpson, driven by Wyatt Avenatti. And In a Major Way, trained by Roshan Trigg, drivers Freddie Patton Jr. Starting gate straightens for home, begins to pick up speed. And here they come. And they're off and racing, and it's Wyatt Avenatti and Rushville between horses to grab that early lead-in race into that first turn. It's Rushville on top by about 2 lengths, racing back there seconds. What's Up, You Tell Me. On third on the outside is In a Major Way. Tucked away fourth on the inside is Carry On Beach. Field races out of that first turn, and we're going to have a new leader now as What's Up, You Tell Me grabs that front end from the 4 horse Rushville. What's Up, You Tell Me is going to lead this field up the backstretch and towards that quarter-mile marker. What's Up, You Tell Me on top by a couple lengths now. Still on the outside, racing third is In a Major Way, and Freddie Patton Jr. finds a hole there second. They hit that quarter-mile marker. 29 seconds flat to that quarter. 29 flat. On top is still What's Up, You Tell Me, leading this field by about 5 lengths in that second turn now. What's Up, You Tell Me on top by 5 lengths. Back there seconds, Rushville and Wyatt Avenatti racing second. On the pylon third, there's In a Major Way. Freddie Patton Jr. at the back of the pack. Carry On Beach, Richard Finn. They race towards that half-mile marker, still being led by What's Up, You Tell Me. They race past that half-mile pole. They hit that time. 58 and 2/5 of a second for the 2-year-old Pacers. 58 and 2. They race into that third turn. They're still being led by What's Up, You Tell Me. But the 4-horse Rushville's a closer second now. Looking to make a move out the backstretch maybe. What's Up, You Tell Me. Strong up the backstretch. They race towards that 3/4 mile marker. But here comes Rushville to the outside to make a move. On the inside, it's What's Up, You Tell Me. There goes Rushville right on by. On the inside, it's What's Up, You Tell Me. On the outside, Rushville. Back there, third's In a Major Way. Racing along their third now. Trying to catch those 2 leaders. They race past that 3/4 mile marker. 1:28 and 4/5 of a second with our new leader, Rushville, on top by 3 lengths. What's Up, You Tell Me, looking to race their second now and hold that second place position. Back there third is In a Major Way, and Freddie Patton Jr. at the back of the pack, Carry On Beach. But after Rushville made that move up the backstretch on top by a handful, going to own this field and come to the home stretch now. Wyatt Avenetti well in hand, tucks his whip across the wire. Give it up for Rushville, the winner of today's 9th race. The 3-horse What's Up, You Tell Me was second. And In a Major Way was third. Home fourth, Carry On Beach. Time for the mile. 1:59 flat. Rushville.
Okay, you heard that, folks. At least I got another victory out of that. One, as Rushville wins that race. So the 1-horse finished 4th, the 3-horse finished 2nd, the 4-horse finished 1st, and the 5-horse finished 3rd. So it's 4-3-5, and I got the 4 and missed the 3 and the 5 on the switch around. 4-3-5. Lisa did not get any of them. So I'm up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins today. She has her
winner of
3
today's
trifectas.
9th race, the 4-horse Rushville, making his 3rd lifetime start for trainer Clay Simpson and owner Ed Teefee. The horse had won his first start out of the gate. 2 bridesmaid finishes. After that, been second twice. Makes a wicked move up the backstretch to grab the lead and win the top line 2-year-old pace at the Coles County Fair.
All right, with that, as we got the 9th race down, as they're waiting for the winning horse to come to the line here. Rushville, like I said, that
making her way
it's close to home. That's a horse. That's a name of a town.
Let's give a big round of applause for the winner of today's 9th race, the 4-horse
owned by
Rushville.
Ed Teefee named that horse Rushville as a town 20 minutes from us. And so we're thankful for that. Ed Teefee does a lot for
2-year-old bay filly by Huntsville out of the Western Ideal mare, Lightning D. Dubé. This filly is owned by Ed Teefee from Mount Sterling, who purchased her at the Lexington Select Yearling Sale for $19,000. Clay Simpson quite capably trained this filly and passing the lines off to Wyatt Avenetti, Mr. Track Record. Let's give it up for Rushville, Wyatt Avenetti, and Clay Simpson. How about a hand of applause?
There again, that hot hand of Wyatt Avenetti. And so that's the
Results are in
official
today's
from
9th
that.
race. The 1-horse Carry On Beach finished 4th. The 3-horse What's Up, You Tell Me was 2nd. The 4 Rushville was the winner. The 5 In a Major Way finished 3rd. The quarter was in 29 flat. The half was in 1:58 and 2/5 of a second. The 3/4, 1:28 and 4. Time for the mile, 1:59 flat. A nice time for a 2-year-old filly pacer on a county fair half-mile track. Race 9 should check down. 4 scratch, 2-1-3 on the bottom. 29 flat, 1:58 and 2, 1:28 and 4, 1:59 flat. Race 10.
When I started at DOT, I realized I could make a career out of this. It's just amazing the people you get to interact with when you get here. It's a family atmosphere for me. One of my main jobs is talking to people, trying to understand what's going on, where they're at in life, what they're needing from me to get their job done. I've met so many people, and it's been a real blessing to be a part of all that. Big company in a small town, that's a fact. When my life needed growth, I chose Dot, and I never left.
Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport is the go-to mobile home transportation company. We provide top-notch services including moving, block and leveling, and even demolitions with a quick turnaround time. If you're looking to move or get rid of your mobile home, Pine Ridge is the company to call. We now have dumpsters available for rent at competitive rates. Contact Wayne at 217-313-9744 or find us on Facebook.
ADI, located in Golden, is one of North America's largest pattern tiling installers. We've helped farmers create water management systems for over 40 years with pattern tiling across farm fields, generating proven data showing a boost in yield and greater profitability. Changing weather patterns do not have to cost you yield dollars anymore. Start with a free estimate now by calling your local ADI representative, David Lohman, at 309-280-2411 or by visiting our website at agdrainage.com.
Have a scratch of the 3-horse. Mr. Turbo Muffler was scratched. And the 4-horse, Oogity Boogity, will be driven by Freddie Patton Jr. Field 10 post due on the backstretch in just a few moments.
All right, race 10 coming up. Just 2 races left on this card. Let's talk about the picks here that were made by Lisa and I. I went 2-4-5. She went 3-5-2. 2 is has a Renegade. Marcus Detweiler, the driver. Mike Titus, the trainer. I think Marcus is a hot driver right now, a young driver that's doing really well. And Oogity Boogity by Freddie Patton, I picked this to finish second. And then the Hulkster, Clark Fairley driven horse, local horse for down in this area. Lisa likes the 3-horse, which is a scratch, so we got to move up to 5 in her spot. The 2 moves up to the second spot, so she's going to pick the Huckster and then go with has a Renegade for second and third. Well, the last time I did this for her, she got a trifecta, so I'll just, let's see, I'll put the 4 in there for her. So she'll go 5-2-4, I'll go 2-4-5. Like I said, the last time I did that for you, Lisa, you ended up with a trifecta, so we'll see what happens here.
Pace, non-winners of 5,000 lifetime, also eligible non-winners of 3 races lifetime. First division, racing 1 mile for a purse of $650. The 1-horse Illini Judy is owned by Jesse Judy of Potomac, Illinois. Harold Gene Finn Jr. of Newton, trained by Harold Finn Jr., driven by Harold Finn Jr. The 2-horse He's a Renegade is owned by MM&D Racing LLC of right here in Charleston, trained by Mike Titus of right here in Charleston. Driver will be Marcus Detweiler. The 3-horse is a scratch. The 4-horse Oogity Boogity is owned by Marcus Detweiler, trained by Marcus Detweiler, passing the lines off driver Freddie Patton Jr. on the 4. And the 5-horse, the Hulkster, is owned by Tom T. Tetrick of Jeff, Illinois, trained and driven by Lerna's own Clark Fairley. Race 10 due to the gate just shortly.
All right, as we get ready for this race, they're headed to the gate for race
He's
10
a Renegade,
here.
the only horse in this field that shows a win on his card. The other three looking for their first lifetime victory. The 2-horse trained by Mike Titus, next door neighbor of the Coles County Fairground, owned by MM&D Racing of Charleston. Your field approaches that gate for today's 10th race. The gate begins to roll. Today's 10th race, condition pace, non-wars of 5,000 lifetime, AE non-wars of 3 races lifetime first division. From the inside out, it's Illini Judy and Harold Finn Jr. He's a Renegade and Marcus Detweiler. Scratch the 3. Oogity Boogity and driver Freddie Patton Jr. And the Hulkster from the 5, Clark Fairley. Field in the far turn. Straightens for home. Begins to pick up speed. And here they come. And they're off, and it's 4 across the track for the start. A nice start for the 10th racers. We race in that first turn now. It's going to be maybe he's a Renegade in front by a long neck as they race in that first turn on the inside. Illini Judy. Oh, he's a Renegade, makes a break in that first turn. Illini Judy's going to inherit that lead on the outside. Oogity Boogie's going to grab second. Racing up there third is the Hulkster, racing inside now to grab that second place position from Oogity Boogity. They race towards that quarter-mile marker. They're being led by Illini Judy and Harold Finn Jr. Leads this 4-horse field towards that quarter-mile pole. They hit that pole in 29 and 3/5 of a second. 29 and 3. This short 4-horse field races in that second turn now, being led by the 1-horse Illini Judy and Harold Finn Jr. Racing back there second is the Tom T. Tetrick owned and Clark Fairley trained and driven, the Hulkster. Back there third now looks to be Oogity Boogity, Freddie Patton Jr. Tipping to the outside, here comes He's a Renegade and Marcus Detweiler racing to try to challenge for the lead. Now they head towards that half-mile mark. On the inside, it's Illini Judy. On the outside, here comes He's a Renegade as they race towards that third turn and past that half-mile pole. A minute and 3/5 of a second. 1 minute, 3/5 of a second. They're being led in that third turn still by Illini Judy and Harold Finn. Race out of that second turn and up the backstretch for the last time now. They're being led by Harold Finn and Illini Judy. Parking out that He's a Renegade, Marcus Detweiler, who just pulled the plugs to make an advancement now. They head towards that 3/4 mile marker, and He's a Renegade looks to take a half length, full length in front now. It's He's a Renegade on top, racing back there second to Illini Judy. 130 flat to the 3/4. 130 flat. He's a Renegade on top by 2 lengths, but here comes the Hulkster and Clark Fairley to tapping up, try to close that gap. On top, it's He's a Renegade, the locally trained horse. Behind that, it's Clark Fairley with a locally trained horse. We're going to have a Coles County finish here, folks. On top, it's He's a Renegade, Marcus Detweiler. Racing second to the Hulkster and Clark Fairley home second, but it's going to be He's a Renegade. Too tough today. The 2-horse, He's a Renegade, your winner. The 5, Hulkster was second. 2-9 flat. Your fractions for race 10. The quarter was in 29 and 3. The half was in 1 minute and 3/5. 3/4, 130 flat. Time for the mile, 159 flat. Allow time for all of our winning connections to make their way out to the winner's circle now for the Coles County Fair Trophy.
Unofficial winner, David.
Gotcha.
All right, they're saying the winner is unofficial as they're taking a look at some things. Normally we'd have David with a computer. They'd be looking at some things on the computer, but with me just here, don't have that. So we'll wait for the official results on this, but I have 2514.
Possible interference.
Possible interference is
Here's
what
the
they're saying.
unofficial winner of today's 10th race, the 2-horse. He's a Renegade. Got a third golf cart of fans and friends making their way out to the winner's circle now. He's a Renegade is a 3-year-old gelding by Revenge Shark. Out of the Sportsmaster mare, She's a Swift. This 3-year-old gelding is owned by MMND Racing of LLC of Charleston, Illinois. It's trained by Mike Titus right here at the Coles County Fairground. Driven by young Marcus Detweiler. Let's give a big round of applause for our unofficial winner. He's a Renegade.
No, we were just wondering if Clark had to take off and...
So as they try to sort things out there on the interference to make sure that nothing went wrong there, they're clearing things up fairly quickly.
And results are official for today's 10th race.
All right.
The 1-horse Illini Junie finished third. The 2-horse He's a Renegade was your winner. The 3-horse was a scratch. The 4-horse Oogity Boogity finished fourth. And the 5, the Hulkster, was second. The quarter was in 29 3, half in a minute and 3/5. 3/4, 1:30 flat. Time for the mile, 1:59 flat. Let's give a big round of applause for our local connections. He's a Renegade and Marcus Detweiler.
All right, let's take a look at things side by side here as our finish up the year. Midwestern Illinois Racing Association races in Brown County, the Brown County Fair. It started on Tuesday. It'll end on Sunday with harness racing. Big money at that race. We're here at the Coles County Fair. The people have here been great to us. They always are. Thankful for that. I'm hoping next year my Airbnb's available out in the country here, as we absolutely love that place, but we're glad to be there. And so, again, if you've got some favorite fair shots, send them to David so that we can get them out there. We'd love to post those, in future broadcasts, that you could do that. We thank the people that did that for us this year. We've got race 11 coming up here as far as the race is concerned. Race number 11, we'll take a quick look at that while we were at things here. Final race of the day, and then we'll talk about the schedule while he's doing the finals there, and then we'll get off the air and get headed back that 3 hours home so that we can get some things ready for tomorrow's broadcast. This is going to be a 4-horse race. I don't have any changes in this race, although somebody's got to be driving.
Ladies and gentlemen,
different
this is
the one and the 4.
Final race for the 2024 Coles County Fair harness races. And looking at this race, we have a 5-point lead for our trainer's title. Jill Brown with that win in the 2-horse race is up 55-50 over Kevin Miller. Kevin's got the rail, though, and the hottest driver on the circuit in Wyatt Avenetti to try to close that gap. But anything other than a win, and that training title will stay right here in Charleston in the Brown Barn.
Oh, Richard Finn's going to do the 1, okay. All right. Got a driver change. Richard
I'm going to correct
Finn.
myself then. We have Richard Finn on the 1-horse Aja for Kevin Miller.
Yep, Richard Finn driving the 1-horse, so I knew there had to be a change because we haven't figured out a way to do 2 horses at once. So Richard Finn is going to be driving the 1-horse Aja. We'll get that changed up for you. Been a wonderful day of racing. It's been a beautiful day if you want to sit in the stands today and watch harness racing. One thing I note over there, we had some young kids up by the rail watching this race, and we've got some young kids in the stands. It's fun for them to come pick and see the horses. As a youngster, you know, I loved being around horses and loved being at the fair, and what a great combination. Lisa's got a picture of geese. We've got geese here. Kind of like what we had in Du Quoin. We just hope they don't come onto the track. Excuse me. But let's talk about this race. Lisa and I both picked the 4-horse, Ain't Wicked. That's going to be driven by Wyatt Avenatti.
To these Coles County harness races here in Charleston. A nice week of racing this week. 3 fantastic days, 3 fantastic cards. Want to give a big shout out to Brad Warner for running the Pick a Winner contest in the grandstand, and all of our fair royalty for running up and down those steps and giving out all the prizes between races. Thank you to the Coles County Fair Board. All the assistants for all their help and accommodations and making these races run smoothly.
Lisa gets pictures of the scenery
It
here.
wouldn't be nothing without a track, so let's give a big shout out to our race secretary Clark Fairley and our track crew, Phil Stout, Dalton Stout, Kurt Niemeyer, Mark Austin, and others for giving us a fantastic track to race on all week long.
All right, with that, I'll give you our picks. Ain't Wicked is both our picks to win this race. I picked the 1-horse, Aja, to finish second. That's another Kevin Miller horse driven by Richard Finn. And then I picked the 3-horse, Lux Desire, Marcus Detweiler driving, Mike Titus, the trainer on that horse. Lisa went with 4-2-3. She went with Cowboy in that second spot. Clark Fairley horse that she went in the 3rd spot for. And so that's going to be our final race. As we get our final race going today, we'll give you updates on the schedule again at the end of it real quick. David will give you the finals, then we'll be off the air and headed back to Brown County, Illinois for a weekend of harness racing. Again, folks, big stakes racing on Sunday. We've got 13 races for you on Saturday on the card. You know, we just would tell you, get out and see a county fair, but if you're wanting to see some big racing, come out on Sunday for that, as there's about $100,000 at stake, between $80,000 and $100,000 at stake in that race, and we're excited about what's going on there. I want to thank you for watching us this year. David and I will actually be doing the broadcast. Lisa will be on the camera for those final 2 days. Be good to have my partner back because I can ask him questions. All right.
For today's 11th race, the final race of the Coles County Fair 2024 harness racing card. Let's meet our field for today's 11th, the 2nd division of non-winners of 5,000 lifetime pace, also eligible non-winners of 3 races lifetime. The number 1 is Aja, owned by Kevin Miller of Arthur and David Falzone of Chicago, trained by Kevin Miller, 2nd in our point standings in the trainers' point standings. Make that driver Richard Finn. The 2-horse is Cowboy, owned by Mike Klukas of Galva, trained and driven by Lerna's own Clark Fairley. The 3-horse Lux Desire is owned by MM&D Racing right here in Charleston, trained by Mike Titus, driven by Marcus Detweiler. And the 4-horse Ain't Wicked is owned by David Arbo of Clarksville, Tennessee, trained by Phil Cotton, driver Wyatt Avenatti. Field approaches the gate for today's 11th and final race, and the gate begins to roll. From the inside out, it's Aja and Richard Finn, Cowboy and Clark Fairley, Lux Desire and Marcus Detweiler, Ain't Wicked and Wyatt Avenatti. Gate straightens for home, begins to pick up speed, And here they come. It's a 4-horse tight start for this tough pace of fields. On the outside, it's Ain't Wicked and Wyatt Avenetti. Between horses, Lux Desire races in there, puts a nose in front. On the inside is Cowboy and Clark Fairley. They head into that first turn. They're being led now by Cowboy, and Clark Fairley's going to inherit that lead on the outside second. Aja and Wyatt Avenetti racing up the inside to grab that second spot, and now is Aja and Richard Fink, They're being led by Cowboy and Clark Fairley towards that quarter-mile marker. This 4-horse field races towards that quarter-mile pole. They're tightening up now. They hit that marker. 27 and 4/5 of a second, the opening quarter. 27 and 4, they're being led by Cowboy and Clark Fairley. Racing a closer second now is Aja and Richard Finn pulling to the outside to challenge that lead now as they head towards that half-mile marker. It's Aja on the outside challenging for the lead. Cowboy and Clark Fairley trying to let that horse go. They head towards that half-mile. It's nose and nose. Race towards that third turn. It's a 2-horse race as they head in that third turn now. On the inside, Cowboy. 56 and 2/5 of a second to the half. 56 and 2. The field races out of that third turn now and up the backstretch for the last time in the 2024 Coles County Fair, and they're being led by our local Cowboy and Clark Fairley. Here comes Ain't Wicked and Wyatt Avenetti to the outside to try to make a move now. It's still Cowboy on top by 3/4 of a length. They hit that 3/4-mile marker. Race towards that last turn. 3/4 was in. 125 and 4/5 of a second. And Cowboy and Clark Fairley still on top by a length and opening up to 2. Now racing back their seconds. Ain't Wicked and Wyatt Avenetti. Come along their thirds. Lux Desire, Marcus Detweiler. But here on the top is Cowboy. On the outside is Ain't Wicked. We're going to have a horse race, folks. It's Cowboy on the inside. Ain't Wicked on the outside. Cowboy, Ain't Wicked. It's going to be Ain't Wicked on top by about a length. Going to win today's 11th race. Ain't Wicked close for second. Aja finished 4th. 1:57 and 2/5 of a second was the time for your mile. Well, folks, with today's 11th race, going to the 4-horse, Ain't Wicked, out of the Phil Cotton Barn for Wyatt Avenetti, that's going to ensure the 2024 Coles County Fair Harness Racing Trainer Championship staying right here in Charleston in the Jill Brown Barn. Congratulations to Jill and all of her team. Quite an accomplishment. Making our way back to the winner's circle. Here comes the 4-horse, the winner of today's 11th race, Ain't Wicked. Ain't Wicked's a 3-year-old gelded son by Mick Wicked out of the Mach 3 mare, Ain't 3 OK. This gelding's owned by David Arbo of Clarksville, Tennessee. Trained by Phil Cotton right there at the head of the horse. Driven by Mr. Track Record, Wyatt Avenetti. Let's give a big round of applause for the 4-horse winner of today's 11th and final race, Ain't Wicked, Wyatt Avenetti, Phil Cotton. Let's give a big round of applause, folks. We want to thank you all for coming out to the 2024 Coles County Fair Harness Racing. Drive safe. Thank you very much.